Hello everyone. In this video, I'm gonna try to make my Specialized Kenevo match the Specialized Enduro. Now, as you can see, the shock mount on the Specialized Kenevo is way up top, and that Specialized Enduro has that sexy low slung shock. Now, you would think that's a good thing. The Enduro looks better, but the Kenevo has a much steeper seat tube and makes a more comfortable ride. So I'll take that ugly top-mounted shock any day of the week for more function.
This is the most common configuration I see people doing. It's a 180 fork and a 230 by 65 rear shock, bringing the head angle to a 62.8 degrees in the tall setting on the flip chip. Let's rip that 29er out just in case you do have a 27.5 wheel laying around, which you probably do. In the long travel configuration with the 27.5 wheel, the bike becomes quite the chopper. Bringing the head angle to a 61.5 degrees, this should make you safe from bike upgrades for the next 75 to 100 years of mountain biking. 170mm fork 230 by 65 rear shock brings the head angle to 62 degrees, which is completely manageable. I've rode it like this plenty of times. Understand this bike is not very sensitive. Some people would just be like, what the hell are you doing? But you have to ride it to understand. Long travel, downhill bikes, they're not super picky. Speaking of travel, travel's the most irrelevant number when it comes to mountain biking nowadays, so let's get rid of that 230 by 65 rear shock. I have a gut feeling that was the wrong shock to put on this bike in the beginning. We do have a flip chip on the Kenevo and the Enduro. That gives about half a degree of head angle and some bottom bracket change. Next up, we got the full 29-inch wheels, 230 by 60 shock with the same 170mm fork. Let's measure the bottom bracket. The bottom bracket measures about 365mm, which is on the tall side. The bike comes 350, and we're chasing the Specialized Enduro sub 350mm. But the head angle's respectable 63.5 degrees, should make a more manageable trail bike. Let's take it for a spin. Now, taking this out for a spin, the bike literally feels like it just came off the showroom floor with 29-inch wheels. Everything is perfectly balanced, manageable head angle. Arguably, the bottom bracket's a little bit too tall, but these are just blue flow trails. When you're on trail, rocky stuff, you're not going to pedal strike with a 365 bottom bracket. So the main benefit of the 230 by 60, it does not hit the frame. If you run a 230 by 65 shock, it's going to gouge the shock up when the bike is cycling through the travel. It's a little bit less stroke, so it doesn't get up there in the frame. Bit of a project fail. It did not turn into the Enduro. I was hoping that shock would do it, but a 10mm taller bottom bracket and a 1 degree slacker head tube angle, this bike is still awesome in its own right,